Have you ever wondered what existed before the light? Before the stars? Before the gods? Before the world as we know it? What ruled the endless silence? What force moved in the void before creation had even begun? This is not just a story of darkness. This is the story of the first shadow, the first breath of mystery, the one even the Olympians dared not cross. Today, you're not just going to learn mythology. You're going to step into the unknown and meet Nyx, the goddess of the night, the mother of inevitability, and the shadow behind the gods themselves. Long before Olympus stood tall, before Zeus hurled his first thunderbolt, before the Titans roared across the ancient sky, there was chaos, an infinite, formless expanse. From that raw, cosmic void emerged something eternal. She did not cry or scream. She didn't fight her way out of the abyss. She was the abyss. Nyx, the primordial goddess of the night, rose from chaos like a whisper of silence before all sound. She wasn't created. She was. Darkness didn't follow her. Darkness was her. She wasn't evil, she wasn't good, and she didn't need labels. She simply existed, unbothered by judgment, untouched by time. Nyx's power wasn't like Zeus's thunder or Poseidon's storms. Hers was deeper, older, more terrifying because it was silent. In her shadowy presence, she didn't demand submission. She simply was undeniable. Her children were not warriors or tricksters or harvest gods. They were the raw, unfiltered truths of life. She gave birth to Hypnos, sleep, Thanatos, death, Moros, doom. The Moirai, the fates who spin and cut the thread of every life. She brought into existence everything we pretend not to fear, but secretly know we can never outrun. Her children weren't monsters. They were laws, cosmic laws, that even the gods themselves couldn't rewrite. And this is what made Nyx more terrifying than any titan or beast. She didn't have to raise her voice. She didn't have to throw a single weapon. Her mere presence was enough. Even Zeus, the king of Olympus, the master of lightning and thunder, feared her. That's not a poetic exaggeration. It's recorded in the oldest myths. Once, when Hypnos dared to trick Zeus into sleep, the furious king chased him to the ends of the earth. But Hypnos ran to one place Zeus dared not follow, the realm of his mother. And when Zeus arrived, ready to unleash his wrath, he stopped, he paused, he backed down. Not because he couldn't fight, but because no god, not even the king of gods, was beyond the grasp of Nyx. She was untouchable, immutable, and the gods knew it. But Nyx was never one to play politics on Mount Olympus. She didn't sit on thrones or engage in godly feuds. She didn't interfere, because she didn't need to. Her work was subtle, eternal. She moved in silence, in the edge of twilight, in the stillness before dreams, in the last breath before death. In the moment when all light fades and we're forced to face the truth, we return to her. That's where she waits, not with malice, but with understanding. She was never destruction. She was balance. And yet, despite her unfathomable presence, Nyx slowly vanished from mainstream mythology. The Greeks worshipped the thunderers, the ocean kings, the war deities. They built temples for Athena and sang hymns to Apollo. But Nyx, she was too quiet, too primal, too real. You don't build statues for a force you can't explain. You don't paint pictures of something you can't contain. You just feel her, in your bones in the dark. When the world goes quiet and your mind is louder than ever, that's when she speaks. Not in words, but in knowing, in peace, in finality. Even today, in modern myth and media, Nyx is barely mentioned, overshadowed by gods with flashier stories. But isn't that the way with truth? The loudest voices aren't always the deepest. Real power doesn't scream, it whispers. Real presence doesn't demand attention, it haunts. And that's what Nyx has always done. Not haunt with fear, but with clarity. With the understanding that every beginning has an end, that every light casts a shadow, and that no matter how high a god may rise, darkness is waiting. And maybe that's why you're still listening, because something in you remembers, something ancient, something that recognizes her. Maybe you felt her when sleep wraps around your tired mind. Maybe you've seen her in your dreams, in the form of a silence that somehow feels alive. Maybe when life gets too loud and you sit alone in the quiet, you're not alone at all. Maybe she's there, not to scare you, but to remind you. You don't need to run from the dark. You need to understand it. So the next time you find yourself wide awake at night and everything is still, don't be afraid. That's not emptiness. That's her domain. The soft, quiet presence of Nyx, the goddess of darkness, the mother of fate, the force that reminds us that even gods must bow to the night. What do you think darkness really is? Have you ever had a dream, a vision, or a moment in the night that felt like something more? Tell your story in the comments. I'd love to hear how the night speaks.